Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Recha Kodesh. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of Jeremiah, the 44th chapter. Conquest of Egypt predicted. This is Jeremiah chapter 44, verse 1. The word that came to Jeremiah concerning all the Jews which dwell in the land of Egypt. So at this point, in Jeremiah, right, along with, as we read in previous chapters, the remnant of Judah that had come from all the various regions where they were hiding, and gathered themselves onto Gedaliah right after being delivered from the hand of Ishmael by Johanan. They go to Egypt and dwell there against the instructions of the Lord. So here they're still dwelling there, and the word of the Lord comes onto Jeremiah to have him deliver this message. The word that came to Jeremiah concerning all the Jews which dwell in the land of Egypt, which dwell at Migdol and at Tahpanhes and at Noph and in the country of Pathros, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Ye have seen all the evil that I have brought upon Jerusalem, and upon all the cities of Judah, and behold, this day they are a desolation, and no man dwelleth therein. Which is true, right? You know, at this point in time, you know, pretty much almost everybody had left the land. Okay, and the Lord is saying, you witnessed what I did there, right? It's not like you were oblivious to it. And I did that because of their wickedness, which they have committed to provoke me to anger, in that they went to burn incense and to serve other gods. So they offered offerings to these idols, right? And served them, whom they knew not. These weren't gods that we grew up with or were accustomed to. Neither they, ye, nor your fathers. So these were gods of these heathen nations that were round about you. This very same reason why the Lord said, don't, intermingle yourselves with them for things like this. But Israel did, and started to go in those practices and provoked the Lord to anger, and then he brought judgment. Howbeit I sent unto you all my servants, the prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, Oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate. You have Micah, Isaiah, Hosea, Jeremiah, amongst many others, saying, what's the first commandment? Thou shalt have no other gods before me. And the very thing that the Lord hates, they continue to do. But they hearken not, nor incline their ear to turn from their wickedness. To incline your ear, meaning to pay attention, right? Or to be attentive to something, to hearken or to take heed to it. To burn no incense onto other gods. And the Lord wasn't requiring much, but once again, it goes to show just how stuck in wickedness, entrenched in iniquity that our people were, and still are till this day. Wherefore my fury and mine anger was poured forth, and was kindled in the cities of Judah, and in the streets of Jerusalem, and they are wasted and desolate as at this day. So how did the Lord pour forth his anger? By having the Chaldeans pillage and rampage through the streets, burning the temple, destroying buildings. You know what happened. All right. And as he says, and they are wasted and desolate as at this day. Therefore now thus saith the Lord, the God of the Lord Yahweh, the God of hosts, the God of Israel. Wherefore commit ye this great evil against your souls? So why are you here, even here today in this land, in Egypt, doing this evil against your souls? This isn't going to hurt me necessarily. You're the one who's going to suffer judgment for this. To cut off from you man and woman, child and suckling, which are babies, right, that are still sucking on the breasts, out of Judah, to leave you none to remain. And what the Lord is referring to is what he's about to say here, that even having witnessed what he did in the land in Judah, and then having fled to Egypt, they went and did the same thing and were worshiping idols and so on and so forth. And the Lord is saying, why are you doing this? Haven't you seen what happens when you do this? In that ye, in that ye provoke me unto wrath with the works of your hands, i.e., the idols that they make and worship, burning incense unto other gods in the land of Egypt, whither ye be gone to dwell, that ye might cut yourselves off, and that ye might be a curse and a reproach among all the nations of the earth. So don't you realize that that's what's going to happen if you keep on doing this? And yet here you are in Egypt doing the same shit that got you here in Egypt, because had you obeyed the word of the Lord, you would have still been dwelling in in your land. But through disobedience, now you're here and you're doing the same very things that the Lord hates. Verse 8, or Slakia, verse 9. Have ye forgotten the wickedness of your fathers, and the wickedness of the kings of Judah, and the wickedness of their wives, and your own wickedness, and the wickedness of your wives, which they have committed in the land of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem? So do you guys have amnesia? Did you forget that it's the very same thing that you did that led to, that pissed me off, that brought you here, and you're still doing it? They are not humbled, even unto this day. Neither have they feared, nor walked in my law, nor in my statutes that I set before you and before your fathers. See, so as the Lord was telling Jeremiah, till this very day, these people, they got to be something seriously wrong with them. Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, behold, I will set my face against you for evil, and to cut off all Judah. So just by, originally I was trying to have mercy on you, but it seems that that's not what you desire. That's not what you need. So now the Lord is saying, now he's going to direct his attention and all his intentions to bring evil upon them, especially those over there that were in Egypt at that time. And I would take the remnant of Judah that have set their faces to go into the land of Egypt to sojourn there. So the ones that decided to go and dwell in Egypt against the Lord's direction. And they shall all be consumed, meaning they're going to be destroyed, and fall in the land of Egypt, or I should say consumed as in they would be affected by the judgment of the Lord, right? Because sometimes the Lord has it to where he may bring, like as he had planned, the Babylonians or the Chaldeans, and they might slay some of them, but they might also take some of them captive. That's still being consumed by the judgment of the Lord, right? And fall in the land of Egypt, they shall even be consumed by the sword and by famine, or by the famine. They shall by the famine they shall die, from the least even unto the greatest, by the sword and by the famine, and they shall be an execration and an astonishment and a curse and a reproach. And that word execration, I think we read it. The Lord used this same kind of statement before, in reference to basically there will be like let me see how it's worded here. There we go. An object of damnation, okay, or an object of horror, to where when people recount what happened, what the Lord did to them, it would be like, damn, right? And an astonishment and a curse and a reproach, because that's how bad the evils the Lord was going to bring upon them was going to be. For I will punish them that dwell in the land of Egypt, as I have punished Jerusalem, by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence, so that none of the remnant of Judah, which are gone into the land of Egypt to sojourn there, shall escape or remain, that they should return into the land of Judah. This is in reference to those that, because not every single one of those that were in Egypt were wicked, and therefore not every single one this would apply to, because Jeremiah was over there in Egypt, right? And the Lord is going to make that clear as we go on down. It says, to the which they have a desire to return to dwell there. So that land that they desire to go back and dwell in, these that I've targeted are not going to return there, because they're going to die. They're going to die here in Egypt. For none shall return, but such as shall escape, those that the Lord will have mercy on. Then all the men which knew that their wives had burned incense unto other gods, and all the women that stood by, a great multitude, even all the people that dwelt in the land of Egypt in Pathros, answered Jeremiah, saying, as for the word that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of the Lord Yahweh, we will not hearken unto thee. God, Lord have mercy. Man. So, well, ain't nothing much to say about it. You heard it out their own mouths, right? They heard all that. The Lord brought it into their remembrance, how you got here. The same stupid shit you're doing now. That's what got you here. Because of your disobedience, you've seen what I've done to your land. You're now here doing the same thing. What do you think is going to happen to you? I'm going to bring judgment upon you. I'm going to do this to you. And the interesting part, like the mind-blowing part, is the very same God that said he was going to bring calamity said that by the mouth of Jeremiah and the other prophets to them while they were in their land. And then he did it. And then they're in Egypt. They've seen what has happened. And then he tells them, now I'm going to do the same thing to you here. And then their response is, well, we're not going to listen to what you got to say. But we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth. We're not going to follow what you're telling us the Lord has said we should do. No, we're going to do what we tell each other to do, what we want to do. To burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, as we have done. So we're going to continue doing whatever it is we want to do. That idol worship, Queen of Heaven, that's what we want to do. That's what we're going to do. We and our fathers, our kings and our princes, in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem. For then had we plenty of victuals, and were well, and saw no evil. So these dumb idiots are basically saying, we're going to keep on worshiping this Queen of Heaven and these other idols, because back when we were doing that, that's when things were going well for us. So we're going to go back to doing that. But since we left off to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven and to pour out drink offerings unto her, we have wanted all things. So now we're suffering and we're lacking because we stopped worshiping the Queen of Heaven. Listen to this. Was it the Queen of Heaven that brought you up out of Egypt? They might as well have said, yeah. And have been consumed by the sword and by the famine. So they even gave that judgment, the credit for that judgment, to the Queen of Heaven. And when we burned incense to the Queen of Heaven and poured out drink offerings unto her, did we, and this is the women speaking, did we make her cakes to worship her and pour out drink offerings onto her without our men? So, was this something we did? Wasn't it something we all did together? You think we just did this without our husbands knowing? Of course they did. They knew. Then Jeremiah said unto all the people, to the men and to the women, and to all the people which had given him that answer, saying, the incense that ye burned in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, ye and your fathers, your kings and your princes, and the people of the land, did not the Lord Yahweh remember them? And came it not into his mind? So don't you think the Lord saw that? Don't you think that was a part of the reason why he brought judgment upon you? So that the Lord Yahweh could no longer bear because of the evil of your doings and because of the abominations which ye have committed. Therefore is your land a desolation, not because you stopped worshiping the Queen of Heaven, but because of this wickedness and an astonishment and a curse without an inhabitant as at this day.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Thank you.
Good. Release your PIN number? Okay. Take it. Yeah. 5173. 5173. Awesome. Have a great day, man.
Thank you
Okay,
too.
man.
All right. So as Jeremiah is saying here, it's because you angered the Lord with your abominable acts that he brought that desolation. Because ye have burned incense, and because ye have sinned against the Lord Yahweh, and have not obeyed the voice of the Lord Yahweh, nor walked in his law, nor in his statutes, nor in his testimonies. Therefore this evil has happened unto you as at this day. That's the reason why you're suffering these calamities. Not because you stopped serving idols, but because you were worshiping idols. Moreover, Jeremiah said unto all the people and to all the women, hear the word of the Lord Yahweh, all Judah that are in the land of Egypt. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, saying, ye and your wives have both spoken with your mouths and fulfilled with your hand. So you said this out of your own mouths, and you actually went through with it with your actions, saying, we will surely perform our vows that we have vowed, to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings onto her. So they were basically making covenants with these the gods of these other nations. Ye will surely accomplish your vows and surely perform your vows. So yeah, you made good on your promise to serve these idols. Go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to make good on my word to destroy you. Therefore hear ye the word of the Lord Yahweh, all Judah that dwell in the land of Egypt. Behold, I have sworn, just like you swore and on to serve the Queen of Heaven. I have sworn by my great name, saith the Lord, that my name shall no more be named in the mouth of any man of Judah in all the land of Egypt, saying the Lord Yahweh liveth. And what that means is, once again, pertaining to those that the Lord was about to bring judgment upon, the wicked ones over there. And he would accomplish that by cutting them off. Dead men tell no tales. Verse 27, behold, I will watch over them for evil and not for good. So when the Lord watches over you, right, he's like, his eyes are upon you, constantly looking out. If it's for good, it's to protect you. So he's looking at any potential dangers and he's delivering you from it. To watch over you for evil is he's looking at any opportunities to bring evil upon you. That involves setting up a nation, bringing them up into power, and having them direct their attention towards your land in particular, and not for good. And all the men of Judah that are in the land of Egypt shall be consumed by the sword and by the famine until there be an end of them. So the Lord had made up his mind that he wasn't going to show them mercy in that land. Yet a small number that escaped the sword shall return out of the land of Egypt into the land of Judah. And that's what I was referring to earlier when I mentioned that this judgment is against those that the Lord has intended it for, the wicked ones. But there will still be a few that the Lord will have mercy on. And all the remnant of Judah that are gone into the land of Egypt to sojourn there shall know whose words shall stand, mine or theirs. Right? They said they're going to do their words. They're going to do after what they've said. Well, the Lord said he's going to do after what he said. So he's like, let's see whose words actually come to pass. And this shall be a sign unto you, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will punish you in this place, that ye may know that my words shall surely stand against you for evil. So I'm going to show you a sign to prove to you that I'm going to bring this judgment that I've pronounced against you. Who the hell are you to go try to go toe to toe with your creator? Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will give Pharaoh Hophra, king of Egypt, into the hand of his enemies, and into the hand of them that seek his life, as I gave Zedekiah, king of Judah, into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, his enemy, and that sought his life. So just like Zedekiah fell prey to the king of Babylon, to the Chaldeans, same way I'm going to give up the Egyptians to the Chaldeans. And you're going to know that if Pharaoh goes down, you are most certainly cooked. And that is the end of Jeremiah, the 44th chapter. Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Recha Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.